Hi guys and welcome back to Reader in the Right. I'm Rachel and today I'm going to be showing you my TBR for FEMMEUARY. Started by my two lovely friends Simon over at Savage Reads and Lauren at Lauren in the Books. FEMMEUARY is essentially the month of February in which your TBR will include books about feminism and the celebration of female writers. It's something that I'm sure you can tell from this channel that I was going to jump on board with. This is quite an ambitious TBR. This is probably the most books that I've expected myself to read in the month, but I really want to show them all to you and I really want to get them all read, so let's just jump straight into it. So first of all, this book has actually just arrived this morning, but I was holding out filming this video just in case this arrived, and it did. This is so exciting. How gorgeous is this cover? Can we just take a moment to please appreciate that? It is stunning. This is Brazen, Rebel Ladies Who Rock the World by Penelope I'm not sure. I feel she's French, I believe, so I'm really sorry that I'm going to butcher your name. This is an absolutely gorgeous illustrated account of all these incredible women and their stories that they have to share with us. Like, it is just stunning and I am so excited to read this. I'm sure you guys all want to get your hands on this. So this is published by Ebury Press and it is actually out on the 8th of March this year, which is International Women's Day. Perfect day for this to be released. I am so excited to read this. I can't wait to get stuck in. Thank you so much Ebury Press for sending me this after I requested it. The next book is a fiction book and this is Things a Bright Girl Can Do by Sally Nichols and this is published by Anderson Press. I have actually already read this book and I don't want to spoil my February wrap up, but this book is genuinely stunning. I would probably class it as a YA, that's where I found it in Waterstones. So this book is set in 1914, just before the start of the World War, and it goes through just until after the end of the First World War in London, and it follows three characters, three teenage girls. We have Nell, May and Evelyn. The story is divided up in very short chapters throughout the book from each of their own accounts. It focuses primarily on the women's suffrage movement and women trying to get the vote, but also includes a lot on class and a great deal on sexuality, also the impact that the First World War had on women and men as well, and it's just genuinely one of the most interesting and exciting books that I've read. I don't think there were many books like this when I was a bit younger, so yeah, I don't want to spoil too much because I'm going to start raving about it, but absolutely fantastic, already read, but definitely want to pick up if you're thinking about joining in with FEMMEUARY. I just realised I have a shelf right here, so I might as well use it. The next book is going to come as no surprise to anybody that's been watching my channel for a little bit. This is Everyday Sexism by Laura Bates. I believe this is one of the first books that I picked up this year, it might have been the first. I read Girl Up last year and it was in my favourite books of 2017 video, and I'm sure this is going to be no different. This is set up by the Everyday Sexism project that Laura set up on the internet, in which women could talk about sexism and how they've dealt with it, and personal accounts. And essentially this book is made up of Laura reflecting on people's accounts of how they deal with sexism in the workplace and in everyday life. Unfortunately aware that sexism is a huge problem that we still have in our society, and I think this book is going to continue to open my eyes a little bit on how serious it is, in all honesty, but also give us a little bit of hope and how to deal with sexism and misogyny in all areas of our lives. So yeah, absolutely excellent. This is a must-be for FEMMEUARY. How can you have FEMMEUARY and not read a Laura Bates? It's got to be done, so can't wait to read this. The next book is something I've had in my collection for quite a while. I believe I bought this from the book festival in Edinburgh a couple of years ago, the one that I made the vlog about. I'll leave a link down below, but this is Fishnet by Kirsten Innes and this is published by Freight, who are a fantastic Scottish publishing company. This follows two sisters called Rona and Fiona, and Rona goes missing, and 6 years later Fiona realises that Rona used to be a prostitute. She's working in the sex industry, and essentially this is a fictionalised account of a genuine deep dive into the sex industry. I would assume that Kirsten did a lot of research for this book, which is fantastic because it's something that I don't really know too much about and I would quite like to be educated on a little bit more, so I thought a fictionalised account was quite an interesting way to go about it. I think it's a perfect novel to read in FEMMEUARY as well. Firm up my knowledge on a little bit, so yeah, really looking forward to reading this. The next book is a non-fiction book and I believe I saw it on Sana at Books and Quills channel quite a while ago, maybe even a couple of years ago. I've been meaning to pick it up, but this is the perfect opportunity to. This is The Birth of the Pill by Jonathan Eig. So essentially this is a non-fiction genuine account of how 5 people, starting with a lady called Margaret Sander, I believe is her name, yes, developed and created the idea of the pill and women being able to control whether they get pregnant and their cycles and obviously control their sex. And I used to take the pill, I don't anymore, but it's something that I would put in my body that I didn't really understand too much, in all honesty, and was never really explained it at the clinic. I've heard this is an absolutely excellent book as well, which really helps, so really looking forward to picking this up. The next book that I have is another fiction book, and this is Lullaby by Leila Slimani, and this is published by Faber. I believe this has just come out. I requested a copy of this, so thank you very much to Faber for sending me this. This is a really interesting looking book and something that I saw a lot of people read and absolutely rave about, so I'm really excited to read this. This has been translated from the French by Sam Taylor as well. So this focuses around a lady called Miriam and her husband and their nanny for their children called Louise, and everything seems to start out very lovely, and I'm sure, as you can tell by the little byline, the baby is dead. It only took a few seconds. Things are unfortunately going to go a little bit wrong. Yeah, I don't want to spoil too much about this, and I'll talk a lot more about the plot in my review, but I am really excited to read this. Now, I'm hoping that you will agree with me here, but I think it's time that I finally read some Margaret Atwood, and what better to celebrate FEMMEUARY with than The Handmaid's Tale. Yes, I finally went and bought this because I thought now is the time that I'm going to try and tackle this book. I'm going to read you the blurb to this because I think that's going to explain it best. The Republic of Gilead offers Offred only one function: to breed. If she deviates, she will, like dissenters, be hanged at the wall or sent out to die slowly of radiation sickness. But even a repressive state cannot obliterate desire, neither Offred's nor that of the two men on which her future hangs. Brilliantly conceived and executed, this powerful vision of the future gives full rein to Margaret Atwood's irony, wit and astute perception. I'm quite nervous about it, I'm not going to lie, because it is such a cult classic, but I'm going to give it my best shot and hopefully I'm going to really enjoy it. And finally is another book which I requested, which is on its way to me, and you possibly will have seen it doing the rounds on YouTube. I've seen quite a lot of people talk about it, and it is Big Bones by Laura Dockrell. Laura Dockrell wrote Lorelei, which is a fantastic YA book to do with mermaids and magical realism that I absolutely loved. I read it a couple of years ago. I'm just going to read you Laura's statement that I have on the little press release because I think it's really interesting. So, Big Bones is a coming-of-age story about self-appreciation, love and gratitude. It's about the body and finding and owning strength, and about sisterhood and self-esteem, and an early bite of feminism. I've written this book during one of my achiest, weirdest and strangest points of my life, and it has been a constant mirror and lifeline for me. I found you can be your own champion and your own cheerleader. You are powerful, you are strong, you are taking care of yourself. You're here and alive and doing well, and living out loud. I mean, that just sounds utterly fantastic. I also know that this book, obviously called Big Bones, talks a lot about fat shaming, and it's something that matters quite a lot to me, especially how I feel about my body right now, and I just think that is going to be such an excellent book. It is published by Hotkey Books, so I'll have that in my wrap up. And that is all of my books. My shelf has actually gone off screen, so yeah, that's a little bit daunting, but we'll be fine. Let me know if you're going to be joining in on FEMMEUARY in February. That is a tongue twister and a half. And let me know what you're going to be reading down below. And as always, if you have any recommendations based on any of the books that I just mentioned, please let me know down below. Thank you so much for watching, and I shall see you in my next video. Bye!